What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games, and we just watched a Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. We're going to be breaking down everything from that Direct and all of the other information with my thoughts on the pricing, the games, and every other feature. Of course, guys, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Consider supporting the channel and joining the Pan fam. I hit that join channel member button below. So the Nintendo Switch 2 is releasing on June 5th of 2025. So you got a couple of months to save up for this console. And we're on the official Nintendo page. And essentially, 1080p screen, so handheld gaming will be better. It does have 4K resolution when you connect to a TV. And you can get up to 120 FPS. Has HDR support, VRR support, so things are going to look a lot smoother. And this is finally a system that is going to be considered like comparable to something like a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox. Maybe not as powerful as those systems, but at least in a comparable range in general. Now, unfortunately, during the Direct, they spent a lot of time on the new C button. And the C button is called GameChat. And essentially, you are able to, if you have Nintendo Switch Online, if you don't have Nintendo Switch Online, you cannot use this feature. But if you have Nintendo Switch Online, you can make a party with your friends, and you can share your screen, and they can share their screen with you, and you guys can play together. Now, some games will have built-in game chat features where the person will actually have their like video camera person on the actual character, as we saw in like Mario Party. But overall, I think this is very gimmicky. It did not demo well at all. It was very laggy when we were looking at the people's screen at the bottom during the video. It was incredibly laggy. I don't think this is a good feature at all. And the camera is a separate purchase as well. So there is a microphone on the Switch 2 though, so you just need a camera, which is pretty nice in general. Now, there is a dock, of course, new Joy-Cons, new everything, new all that good stuff, better folding out of the Switch 2 back thing, so things are easier to play, which is pretty nice. The magnetic locking on, so you don't have to worry about your Joy-Cons getting stuck. The Joy-Cons can now be a mouse. Now, obviously, you will need a flat surface, so if you don't have like a desk or a table, you will not be able to use the mouse function, but it does have mouse functionality for some games, which is pretty cool. Yeah, man, this chat thing was not, I don't know. This was such a weird thing. You do have a 1 year, well, almost a year of free chat thing till March 31st of 2026, but then you'll have to use a membership, which I think is really weird because you don't need a membership on PlayStation or Xbox or PC, obviously, to play with your friends online, to have like a voice chat, and also Discord exists. So this is like super weird. There is a built-in 256 gigabytes, which is nice, but I don't think it's big enough. And they are using new SD technology called Express cards, and your old cards will not be able to work. You will be able to play your Switch 1 games on your Switch 2, which is nice. And pretty much in general, here's the full breakdown of it. Overall, it's a better Switch 2. It's just better. Now, is this going to be a more expensive Switch 2? But it is a better Switch 2, that's for sure. Now, there is other features. GameCube is now coming to Nintendo Classics, and that is only available on the Switch 2. So if you have a Switch 1, you will need to get a Switch 2. You want to play the Nintendo Classics. They are saying Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, F-Zero GX, and Soul Calibur 2 will be there day one on June 5th. More games are coming. Some games will get upgrades. Some are paid upgrades. Some are going to be free upgrades for your Switch 1 games, which is pretty nice. And there is some new changes to the Nintendo app. Fun fact, the Nintendo app is actually getting achievements for some games. Like Tears of the Kingdom will have achievements, but on the Nintendo app and not on the system itself. So keep that in mind. And you can pre-order your system today. Now, there are two SKUs. There is a Mario Kart bundle with Nintendo Switch 2, $500. This is a $500 bundle, and I did my pre-order here on the Nintendo Switch website, so you can try to go there and do that. Now, you could get the regular one. However, the prices are not the best. $450 for a Switch 2 by itself, $500 for a Switch 2 bundle. Now, I will say this, you should still get a bundle because that Mario Kart game, unfortunately, is not $50 by itself. You are not saving any money. I do want to say the Mario Kart game is a digital download, but you're not saving any money. You're actually going to spend more money, to be fair. Now, here is our software lineup for 2025, at least most of the games. Mario Kart World, Kirby Air Riders, Hyrule Warriors, Age of Imprisonment, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Switch 2 editions of Pokemon Legends ZA, Metroid Prime 4, Zelda Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and Kirby's Forgotten Land. There's also another game out there too. It was Dragon Drive, which I hope this game is not more than $20 because it honestly looked not great to me. But I mean, there's some nice screenshots in here. Everything's looking pretty good in general. Now, there is another game they put out here, launching on June 5th, called Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. And this is a paid digital game. This is a paid game that just is a tutorial on how to use the Switch 2 and has like a little bit of mini games. This should be a free game. I think this was egregious. This should 100% should have been free. And I don't know why they didn't make it free and just a pack in like Astro's Playroom on PS5. I think this is horrible. Now, here's the cost of Mario Kart World. $80. It is $80 for a physical cartridge for Mario Kart World. $80. This is the most expensive video game I've ever seen in a long time. A long time in my life. I mean, I think the last time games were this expensive was probably in the 90s. This is crazy. This is very expensive, and I'm surprised Nintendo is the one opening up the $80 threshold. So expect your games to be much more expensive. But I do think different types of games will be tiered at different prices. Because Donkey Kong is $70. Now, I don't know what this means. This is telling me that Donkey Kong is a smaller game than Mario Kart World. Is Mario Kart World more like their full-on AAA? And then Donkey Kong Bonanza is like a AA experience from them? Like, I'm not really sure how this pricing is working. I assume this would have been 80, but the fact that it's 70 is very interesting to me. So I'm not sure why there's a difference in prices. I don't know what's going on there. But also, digital games will be cheaper. So digital, well, this is in euros, but essentially digital Donkey Kong is going to be 60, and then physical is going to be 70 here, which is pretty crazy stuff. So games are going to be cheaper digital. They really want you to have a digital library. They don't want you to have any sort of physical hardware anymore, which is very unfortunate. Now, to talk about some of the enhancements here, you get some Nintendo app stuff for the Switch 2 editions of these games. Now, if you already have these games, you can just upgrade them, but you do get some bonuses on the Nintendo app, which is pretty cool. Kirby and the Forgotten Land will actually have an expansion, which is pretty cool, called Starcross Worlds. This is launching on August 28th. So I love this game. This game's awesome. Very excited to see what they do with this expansion. And of course, it will have a performance upgrade as well. And here's some of the other games from the GameCube launch. So on June 5th, we get these 3 games, but we get some exciting other games too. We're going to be getting Mario Sunshine, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, Gale of Darkness, Chibi Robo, Super Mario Strikers, Luigi's Mansion, and Pokemon Coliseum. We don't know when these games will be added, but they will be added, hopefully this year, but maybe it may take some time. And then you can also get yourself a Nintendo GameCube controller that will work wirelessly with your Switch 2. So if you want to have a true experience, you could do that, and that'll be pretty cool. It also has the C button on it to chat, which is pretty interesting. Now, looking at the other prices, these things are going to be expensive. The Switch 2 accessories are not cheap. So the Pro Controller, which looks very similar to the basic Pro Controller, it does have 2 additional back buttons on it called the GL and GR buttons, and it does have an audio jack. $80 for that controller, right? Joy-Cons, Joy-Con 2 are $90. Now, you can use regular Joy-Cons on the Switch 2, but they can't attach to the side of it. Charging grip is $35. The camera is $50, and the dock set is $110. This is a pretty expensive set of accessories. Now, a bunch of your old accessories will work on it, but the most important one is your Joy-Cons on the Switch 1 will work, but they cannot be attached to the Switch 2 in any way. So you're going to have to use your old Switch or a different charging station to charge them up. But those old controllers you might have bought, like the NES controller, SNES controller, they'll actually work. You cannot use your old dock, your old AC adapter, your old HDMI, and you cannot use the old micro SD cards. You have to use the new ones. Now, they have a brand new form of DRM coming to the Switch 2 called Game Key cards, and I don't think this is a great thing. So on some boxes of the Switch 2, you will have a thing called Game Key card. And essentially, this cartridge is just a online check for you to connect online to see if you have access to the game. And if you do, then you'll be able to play it. There is no game on the cartridge. The cartridge is just empty. There is nothing on the cartridge. Now, it's not going to be on every cartridge, but some will have it, which is going to be very annoying because if you don't have an internet connection, then you can't play the game. This also makes it so there is no physical version of this game. Let's say, for example, Cyberpunk 2077 comes out onto the Switch 2, which it is. If it has a game key card, then there is no game on that card. You have to connect to the internet, download the game. So it's pretty much you need to have a... Pretty much it makes you want to just use digital games because this is such a hassle. So in general, they have DRM now, and I don't think it's consumer friendly at all. Now, the new SD cards are micro SD Express cards. You will have to buy new cards or old cards will not work on the Nintendo Switch 2. You can currently buy some right now from the SanDisk store. They only come in 128 and 256 gigabytes. There is no 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte cards. The Switch 2 does support up to 2 terabyte cards though. So hopefully they'll make some new ones. But a 256 gigabyte card will cost you $60. So that's another expense for you on your launch. Also, speaking of the box art, I think these boxes are horrible. I genuinely think this is ugly. There is so much negative space at the top here. This is really, really bad. This is like Switch 1 boxes look way better. Let's show you. Switch 1 box right here. Xenoblade Chronicles. This box is beautiful. This is great. A lot of art. No focus on art here. I think this is egregious and ugly. This is like really ugly. Like this is genuinely like they want us to get digital games so badly they're gonna make the box art bad. Like this is, gosh, I just do not like this. It really grosses me out. Now, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition game features and look at the Switch 2 UI. So some of these games are getting expansions, as we talked about earlier. Mario Party Jamboree will be getting Jamboree TV, which is going to allow you to use camera play, allow you to use the mouse feature on the Joy-Cons as well. This is apparently going to be a $20 upgrade for that. Breath of the Wild will be getting an upgrade as well. Tears of the Kingdom as well. And then Kirby as well too. But you can see some of these things are like faster load times, HDR support, improved frame rate and resolution. The Zelda one gets the addition of Zelda Notes and the app service as well. So there is like some good bonuses that they're adding to these games, which I do appreciate. And something like this, Pokemon Legends ZA is also getting one too. We saw in the trailer. This is 60 FPS, 1080p, 60 FPS Pokemon. Our first 60 FPS Pokemon game in a very long time. I mean, it actually looks pretty good in general. But this is the Switch 2 version. So you will be able to upgrade the Switch 1 version of ZA to the Switch 2 and get that cool experience. But of course, it will be a paid thing. Metroid Prime 4 is getting the exact same thing as well, but it actually is getting a lot of like different upgrade features. Now, there are free updates coming to some old games. So ARMS, Captain Toad, Super Mario Odyssey, Super Mario 3D World, Clubhouse Games, Link's Awakening, Echoes of Wisdom, Game Builder Garage, Mario Brothers U Deluxe, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and Big Brain Academy are all getting free updates, which is pretty interesting. They're going to get improvements. Is hopefully Scarlet and Violet is not as laggy as it once was, but that's pretty much our year in the Switch 2 for the first year of first party stuff. I mean, Mario Kart looks good. 24-player Mario Kart. That looks pretty good. Open world to a degree. Donkey Kong looks interesting, but I got to see more, honestly. But it looks pretty solid. And Metroid Prime, we need to see more. We don't have a release date on that still yet. And ZA, we need a release date as well. However, let's talk about third parties because there was a good amount of third party support. And the biggest game that was shown off in general for me was From Software has an exclusive game coming to the Switch 2 called Dust Bloods. Essentially, it looks like Bloodborne 2. However, it is not everything you think it is. So it is releasing in 2026. And I was incredibly hyped. If you want to watch the stream reaction, I was losing my mind to it. But the game is a PvPvE title with multiplayer at its core. So this is not a single player experience. This is not a Bloodborne 2. This is going to be more like Elden Ring Night Rain. 8 players vie for supremacy among themselves and challenge other foes. So Elden Ring Night Rain is like working together to fight bosses. This is going to be more like fighting against each other, sort of like an extraction shooter. We'll learn more information about this on April 4th, but this was probably the biggest announcement during the whole entire thing. A lot of good third-party support, though. Deltarune is coming to the Switch 2 on June 5th. Chapters 3 and 4 will be added. $25 for this. Pretty good. And then chapters 5 and 7 will be free updates. And then we got to see Silksong. It was there for like 5 seconds, but it is coming to the Switch 2 in 2025. So those are pretty much our biggest updates. Oh, we also, Final Fantasy 7 remake is coming as well. Cyberpunk is coming. So Elden Ring. A lot of good third-party stuff. So if you only have a Switch and you plan on getting the Switch 2, you're going to actually be able to play a lot of games. A lot of other gamers have been enjoying for a while, so that's pretty cool. But I think overall, this slate of games it's the first year, or at least the first holiday season. And I do think Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong stand up the most for me. And then probably Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon Legends ZA. But everything else doesn't matter that much. I will get the Kirby's Forgotten Land DLC, though, because I think that's cool. We haven't seen anything on Kirby Air Riders, but I hope we get something good. We know it's a 4-player multiplayer Kirby game. But this price, man, $500. $500 for the bundle, which I think everyone should go for if you want to get this day one. I will definitely be trying it, and hopefully I can get it. But let me know in the comment section below, are you excited for the Switch 2? If you think this is going to be a cool console, are you going to get it day one? And let me know what games you want to play on it. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and have a good one.